So, are there any limitations or challenges you've encountered in the realm of generative AI? We talked about the mode and the fact that you're using another tool, a third-party tool, in order to create the engine is not yours. So, what do you see as a limitation?
There's a lot, to be honest. Like I think, there are some technical limitations, and there's also, I think, creative limitations, right? So if I kind of want to maybe hone in on the technical side, I think that consistency is like still a big issue. And I think that that's why most tools that we see are more directed at like B2C, where there's not necessarily a specific business outcome that needs to be, exact. And also, there's no, I guess, expectation of like, things being automated. Like you kind of have to do it yourself manually. I think that when it comes to creating products for B2B, like we're creating this product not just for the musicians and the fans, we're creating it for record labels, for A&R teams, for music marketing agencies. So when you do that, you kind of have to think about being able to deliver something that's very consistent. And that can definitely be a challenge. And I also think that it's a challenge to kind of disregard the noise and the trends. Like there's a lot of trends going on within generative AI, and it's all very great and cute and fun. But these are things that like ultimately will be there for like, a month, 2 months, and then they'll go away. And like to try to build a feature, just to serve that, and kind of, I feel like, that's where a lot of companies kind of don't necessarily prioritize like how much value am I giving. Like if I do this, like is that really what the artists need? Is that really what the record label needs? Or is it just cool because it's being, you're seeing a lot of videos like that on Instagram or TikTok. So as I said, like I think quality of the outputs, like especially consistency, like especially with video, like the latent space is like still not, 100%. It's like
Yeah.
95% there, but there's like still a bit of a gap to make it kind of production ready. And trends. And I think maybe also I'd say like control over the outputs. I think that there's a real UI UX challenge when you're building an AI product, especially one that's referencing things that we already kind of know. So like when we're building the UI for this, like do we build it with like After Effects and Premiere in mind, like as a kind of reference point? Like, do I need a timeline? Do I need a storyboard? Like, how am I going to make this accessible to the user? But it's not just about referencing the previous generation. It's also about doing something that's going to serve like an AI focused or an AI forward product. So it's about inventing a new user experience that maybe is more purposeful for that. So that's also a challenge. How do we make it similar but also like more
Yeah.
forward thinking?
Yeah. So, I come from design. This is what I've done like in the last like 20 something years. And I have to say that I totally agree with you. I work with several companies right now in generative AI. And the fact that you cannot really tune exactly what you want, especially for creative people who know exactly what they want, they know what the outcome that they're looking for. This is a challenge. And what you said about the UX, the user experience itself, it makes sense that people think about who is going to use it. So if we're talking someone who's coming from After Effects and he knows exactly what is the type of effect that he's looking for, what are the colors and everything, it will be very hard to take what they have and just swap it into something which is new. But if we're thinking about new users who did not use After Effects because it was so complex, hard to use, you need to have a very good experience in that. Um, then you could offer them what they're expecting to have. And they're less detailed oriented in that aspect. They're more like a holistic kind of users. So it depends on who's going to use it. And if we're talking about selling it to big corporates, what are they looking for? And maybe the fact that it's like really fast is more important than the fact it's really exactly what they need. So it depends on who's the user, of course. So We could
I
talk
think,
about it later.
yeah, definitely. First of all, for sure, I'll hit you up on that. But no, I think it's a challenge for all AI startups now, because like the balance between familiarity and innovation is a delicate one. So yeah, so we've put a lot of thought into how we're going to make it kind of user friendly and AI forward.